Season 9 is
Okay.
the most important season for
See what we
Overwatch
got.
2 since the entire release of the game. This season will potentially change everything and set us up for a path for success, actually, in Overwatch 2, or it will be the beginning of the end. There's a lot at stake here.
Now, to be fair, this has been every season of Overwatch, including Overwatch 1, when every season that after every season, it was like the decline. Every season was, okay, Overwatch is dead after this season.
But there's a lot that I am optimistic
We'll see what goes on in
about.
Season 9.
Maybe I shouldn't be, but let's break everything down, talk about why it's so important, and talk about what could happen on both sides of the aisle. Now, I know I'm a bit away, and don't tell my wife, but at 100k subs, I'm going to adopt a puppy in celebration.
Coach Will's married?
She's been wanting one, and I think it'd be really cool to link those goals up. So
is he married?
I work harder. So, puppy, subscribe, okay? Let's jump into it. Now,
am I the only one out of the three of us that isn't married? Sauce is married. Mills is married. Am I the only one that's not married?
First off, we do got to talk about the rank changes briefly. And for
now I got marriage FOMO. Just kidding. Don't tell Jaden.
Who don't know, we're actually
Jaden's
getting
probably in
into
chat right now,
new
like,
system where we can transparently see our rank. There's going to be bonuses depending on how much you beat a team that perhaps had a higher chance of winning.
Dude, it cracks me up how this is still being touted as like a new thing. Like, well, now you get to see how much you rank up for your divisions. Like, people are like freaking out about it too. We're just rolling back to the old way of Overwatch. I don't know if it's going to make it. I think it'll be better. Obviously, having more information as a player is always good, is always a good choice. When, especially in competitive games, more information is always better. So that's why especially in Overwatch 2, when they released it, I was like, I don't know why they're hiding all this information all of a sudden. All it's doing is pissing me off. So I'm glad they're doing that. I don't know if it's gonna make the game any better though than what it was.
Perhaps had a higher chance of winning, or if you're on a win streak, you're going to get extra bonuses, and you're going to see a number go up and down, and it's going to be plus or minus a certain amount that's going to be affected by a couple of different factors like those. And this is a system very similar to the Overwatch 1 system. The transparency, we've been asking for this for a long time, and it was one of my biggest criticisms of Overwatch 2, was the really poor rank system, and this is just better. And in fact, it might not just be better. It looks like...
Did he say ranked system or reg system? Like hit reg system? Because I will say, dude, Overwatch 2 servers have been poop since the game came out. The amount of lag that happens for abilities. I mean, you guys, okay, so the Maywall bug, you guys know where the Maywall like goes halfway up and then it finishes? Just enough time for the Sojourn to headshot me, right? You guys were saying that was a ping diff because I was running at 90 frames per second. Were you guys watching Flash Ops this past weekend when they were running May every game? Did you guys see how every time the Maze threw up a wall, it always did the same shit? It always did that up and then finished it up. That is I don't know what's going on with their servers. That has been a thing since Overwatch 2 released, and that was never a thing in Overwatch 1. So I don't know if like the tick rate on the servers is worse or something, but honestly, it's getting to the point, especially when everyone's getting good at the game now. Like all the new players that joined are like getting better, so you're not going like against, like there's always been like good people, but now it's like everyone's basically good. Now that stuff is really important, and it's starting to get on my nerve a little bit that there's like these weird little timing things, like that kind of stuff.
All the other features combined, it's going to be even better than the Overwatch 1 rank system, which I was perfectly content with that rank system. So something even better than that to me is going to be amazing. Now, it could be very possible that they completely botch the rank system as of Season 9, but honestly, as long as I can see my freaking rank, and I can see it go up and down every win or loss, I'm happy. Like, that's literally all they had to do.
You know, let's throw in a couple hot takes, all right? How about we show everybody's rank in the lobby? You know, wouldn't that be cool? We saw all the players' ranks in the lobbies. That'd be great to see what rank everybody is in the spread, you know, so we can get an idea what it is, you know? Wouldn't that be crazy? You know, it'd be even a really cool idea. Instead of like trying to fix counter swapping, because especially for tanks, and I've said this before, and I still think it's a brilliant idea, especially for mid game. Because you know, if you're a tank player, you know when you go into spawn, they pick Reaper and you're playing Winston. So you go into spawn and you pick something else, maybe like Orisa, so you don't die immediately to Reaper. And then immediately when you switch to Orisa, before you even like get to the fight, they've already went back to spawn and switched to like a sim, you know, to counter your Orisa. You just have this cat and mouse game all game, and it's so annoying, and it is not fun to play against. How about, bold idea here, right? How about we don't show you what the enemy team is running ever? Not at the beginning of the match, not midway through the match, not at the end of the match. The only way to find out what the enemy team is running is by keeping track of what they're playing and when they make swaps. So you can't just tab, because I'm telling you, man, that's all people do. A high elo players will agree. You're tabbing all game between fights. Tab to check to see if they're running anything. Just double check on their comp. Tab. Always seeing it. You know, maybe let's turn off. Maybe we can't see what they're running before we see them. You know what I mean? So we're not sitting in fucking spawn for 20 minutes switching to things while the other tank and the other damage or whatever it is, they're waiting in spawn to see where you're switching. It just gets annoying. Rocket League does that, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it, dude. I think it'd be great. While we're on the topic, yo, let's not let you see the other team's names until the match starts. It'd be a great way to counter stream sniping. That'd be fantastic. So like, let's say you're a you're a ball one trick. You love playing ball, but everyone knows you play ball. Everyone knows you like to roll out as ball every time. So what do? Conveniently, every match, they just start off as Sombra right away, immediately. It's annoying. It is. It's really annoying just to like see a name and already know what they're gonna play. You know what I mean? This is where people go, oh, well then just don't one trick your hero and blah blah blah. Like some people, that's their job. Like their job is to be really good at one hero. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking too much, hitting something too close to home here.
Sold, and I'm sure they'll get the kinks out with time. Now, the thing that they're combining with this is they're combining a soft reset. So people are going to be reset and ranked. Be aware of that. Be warned that that's going to happen. Don't freak out. It's going to be normal. It's going to happen to everybody. And they are also adding a new rank, Ultimate, that is going to be above Grandmaster. The idea is that this ultimate rank is going to be more competitive. It's going to be something that people grind for, and it's going to be something more similar to like the 4.3, 4.4K plus that was back in Overwatch 1. Things will adjust, but Overwatch 1
Bro, I don't think I'd be able to hit that ultimate rank then. If you guys never played Overwatch 1, 4.4K and above, it was extremely difficult to hit. Like it was very hard to hit that rank.
Grandmaster was always more competitive than Overwatch 2 Grandmaster. And my biggest complaint with the system in Overwatch 2 is you would often have huge rank disparities that you just wouldn't see nearly as much in Overwatch 1, at least for the majority of the life cycle, where let's say in Overwatch 1, you were like a Grandmaster player, 4.2K, you would not often see Masters players. Like every once in a while, you'd see a really high Masters, but you wouldn't see low Masters.
Yeah, it'd be like a 3.9K Masters player. So like they'd be high up. So like you see the Masters players, but you're like, yeah, they're basically GM. You know,
or high diamond. Almost ever, it was very rare. It was like a crazy event when that happened, but you'll see that quite a bit in Overwatch 2. You'll see that where you'll have people of really weird skill differentials up against each other, and it almost felt like in Overwatch 1 you would consistently be in higher rank lobbies, forced to prove yourself against really skilled players all the time. So you're really, playing perfectly, trying not to make mistakes, stuff like that. But in Overwatch 2, it feels like you're just trying to smurf people better. Like you're trying to roll over the bad players. So Overwatch 2 felt like more about capitalizing bad players' mistakes. Overwatch 1 felt more like you're fighting against your peers to edge things out. And I, of course, prefer the Overwatch 1 system. But
God, that is such the perfect way to put that. That's why when I queue up into Overwatch, especially when I'm top 500, I'm going against like people that I don't know. I've never seen these names before. They're not top 500 players like on my team. Like I'm the only top 500 player. And then like there's one person on the other team that's also top 500. And it's not like it doesn't feel like I'm playing against, like the highest skill tier players. Like I don't feel like I'm being challenged. Even though my I'll be win-loss will be even, but I don't feel like I'm playing with and against the best of the best, especially at the rank that I'm at. Overwatch 1, when I hit top 500, dude, I was in the shit. I was playing against other top 500 players. Like those lobbies were at least GM, like high GM, top 500 players. So it's like every game you queued up into was going to be a challenge. Like you were going to be playing with people that were better than you, that are making smart call outs, but you're also going to be having to deal with really high level players. And I feel like really seldomly I have to deal with like the best of the best players. Usually it comes down to how well can I wrangle my team? How well can I prevent them from making mistakes? And that's what it felt like. It's still fun, it's still fun, especially, when you get to like roll the other team. But it feels like it just feels less rewarding to play in lobbies every day that don't feel like when I've earned a really high rank, I want to play with people that are really good, like that's what I got there for. I want that experience of playing against really high level teams, not just one person on the other team, like high level teams. And that was lost in Overwatch 2. I haven't really had that feeling since Overwatch 1. Even when I hit like top 200, the lobbies still feel the same as to when I'm like high GM. Like they're no different. I'm still going up with the same people.
New rank system changes and the new rank, it feels like we're going to be returning to something very similar to Overwatch 1. Like things are going to feel a lot more like Overwatch 1 and be competitive again. Combine that with the soft reset, and now I'm seeing more people trying this season 8, than I have seen in a long time. People are trying to get good again. People are actually caring about the game because they know that just around the corner, things are going to get more competitive again. There's going to be more competitive integrity. There's going to be more people grinding than ever. There's going to be people really trying to get to the high ranks of play. And it's not going to be easy to get to the highest ranks in Ultimate. And this has me hyped more than ever. Like, this is the first season in a long time.
This is good, because I will tell you, GM1 is the easiest rank to get to. Like, if you're a former, like, Grandmaster player in Overwatch, getting GM1 is, like, nothing. Like, GM1, to me, feels like hitting 4K. It feels like hitting Grandmaster in Overwatch. Like, when I get to GM1, it's like, all right, I'm back in Grandmaster now, is what it feels like.
Time that I've been hard grinding, trying to get good because I want to be in the highest rank possible. And I felt like in Overwatch 2, like there's nothing to work towards once you get to GM1. You feel like you completed the game. Yeah, you can get top 500, but it's like easier or harder depending on when you try to do it. Like at the beginning of the season, sometimes top 500 is all the way like in low masters for tank, which is just nonsense, right? So all these factors combined get more people to care about the game.
Chill.
Has a better rank system overall. It's going to be beneficial for literally every single type of player at every single rank that is grinding the competitive rank system. And I think it's going to make a much better Overwatch. And if they can nail this even at a bare bones level, things will be so much better for the competitive experience. Yes, it's possible that they completely botch everything. I understand that. But at the very least, if the ranked system is transparent, it's better than what we got now. And there's a chance that if they nail this right, we could have just a phenomenal ranked experience, better than we've had.
I know we're never going to get this, but God, wouldn't it be awesome if they just told us what our MMR was and then what our actual rank is? Wouldn't that be crazy? I know they're not going to do that, but
in a very long time,
imagine
perhaps all of Overwatch 2 and even like maybe the last 10 seasons or 12 seasons in Overwatch 1, which maybe that's a little bit of a cope. Maybe that's too optimistic, but I want to hope because I'm just actually really excited. For the first time in a long time, I'm really excited for the future of Overwatch 2. Now, in addition to this, they are going to be aggressively trying some new things that could really shake up Overwatch for the foreseeable future. They talked about a potential credit system that is like a credit swapping system where every single person has a certain amount of credits and they use those when they are swapping. Maybe like every player has like 5 credits, right? And that
I don't know how I feel about this. This seems very like cheesy of a way to fix the issue of counter swapping. Again, I think just an easier way to fix it is just to don't show people what the enemy team's running. Don't be able to tab and see what they're running. You get to find out when you get to the fight, or when your team like calms it when they see it. Higher the skill cap for it a little bit.
That means that you can't swap more than 5 times.
I don't know. I think it's a good idea.
To be meaningful. That's one thing that is a potential. Of course, that needs a lot of trial and error, but they want to aggressively test that. In addition to that, they're thinking about a pick or ban system where everyone on your team like votes for one, and the one that has the most votes, or if 2 are tied.
See, this is where we got into. You have to not show the names of the enemy when you're queuing up in the game. Because then if you know somebody just is really good at a certain hero, obviously you're just gonna pick that hero instead of picking a hero that works well with your like against what your team can play. You're counterpicking what the other team can play really well. And I think especially for ladder, that's just a terrible idea. Because then especially if you're just known for being good. If I get into a lobby and people know me as a really good Mei player, right? I'm not going to be surprised if at least 50% of my games they ban Mei. And like that's gonna mess with me, for content creators. So if they're gonna do a pick or ban system, they've got to not let you see the enemy team's names before the match begins. Before the gates open and it hits up, you don't know the enemy's names. And I honestly think as far as like hiding information, that's probably the only information I think that would be important to hide. It would be really beneficial for like the healthiness of the game.
Gets banned and it goes back and forth, and there would be like maybe 2, 3, 4 characters banned. I don't know what the perfect number is, but they want to aggressively experiment with it. And they even suggested that perhaps they're going to throw it even into comp. They didn't confirm this, but they said it's a possibility. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, what the hell? That sounds terrible. But you got to understand that if they do something like that aggressively, they can get to the bottom of something very quickly. Find out everyone's feedback, and people could say, yeah, that sucked. We don't want that at all. Or actually, it was better than we thought, and they can make the change. And the thing that I like about this is way different than the mindset of the Balance team in Overwatch 1, where things were so slow to happen. They would come up with an idea, and then they would pick and prod at it for so long, trying to make it perfect. Yeah. They do all this internal testing, and then they release it after trying for so long, and they completely missed the mark. They completely had some oversight that they didn't see what we found out, what the ranked population found out, literally in like 2 days. So the fact that they're
I've been noticing this much more often about the Overwatch team. This is why I'm quite convinced at this point. Either A, I just know what the devs are going to do at this point, or B, we've got a mole in our chat. Because anytime I make recommendations, like especially for like hero balancing, they usually go through. But I don't think it's just me specifically. I think it's that they are listening more to people overall that play the game. A lot of my takes are shared by a lot of people as well. So I think they're just listening to the community more often, because that shit is they're actually listening. Like as far as changes go, like they're listening to feedback very actively and making changes. So I agree. They've been doing a much better job of balancing things quick, trying things out, and when it doesn't work, reverting that shit. The only complaint, obviously, it took them like 3 months to revert Mei back to what she was before, even though everybody hated the new Mei. Everybody hated the new Mei. Mei players and people that played against Mei hated the new Mei. And it took them that long to fix it.
Willing to just try things and put things into play, but then quickly take it out if it's bad, or figure out if it works. I like that. And I like that they're actually toying with really aggressive changes, because I think it's good for the future of the game if they are not afraid of change. They're willing to embrace innovation. As long as they're also willing to put the lid back on the can, right? As long as they're willing to reel things back if they don't work and we don't like them, then I'm okay with it. And just the fact that they went back on the transparency aspect of the rank system, right? They talked about the rank system so much. Oh, we really don't want the bad feeling of the rank system when ranks change, so we're not going to show you the rank. They argued that point again and again and again. And then finally, they're like, you know what? Y'all are right. We're going to revert it back. And that just shows me that, they're slowly changing their ways, and they're willing to embrace that. And that's why I'm okay with them trying things aggressively. And it actually shows like almost a turning over of a new leaf for Blizzard, potentially. But we're going to, of course, have to.
I like how Mills went from relaxing classical music to like Mission Impossible 20 music.
To wait and see on it, and then hold them accountable if they actually,
or like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire
do. But also, we have a lot of things coming in season 9. They have talked about a lot of balance changes to characters like Ana, Genji, Reaper, still keeping these characters viable, but perhaps shifting around the power level. Maybe they're gonna buff Ana's damage and weaken her nade, and they're talking about changing some of the
a buffed Ana damage I would take that. Sure, nerf her nade, I don't got any problem with that. Buff her damage, oh yeah, you best believe.
Dragon Blade, but making Genji still fine.
DPS on it.
Reworking characters like Reaper and even characters like Wrecking Ball potentially. And they said they want to do fundamental changes about nerfing burst heals and the amount of damage in the game. There's like a lot of things coming together all at once. And we're going to get to try Venture, the new hero, in season 9 as well.
That's exciting.
Will be out for a half season, and he's probably going to get further balanced. So there's a lot of content, a lot of things that we're going to try. And they're thinking about trying a lot of reworks, a lot of balance changes, a lot of crazy new additions like the pick and ban system and the credit system for swapping and the rank changes and the new rank. Like, there's just so many things kind of coming together, and it's kind of creating a stew, right? Where maybe it's going to turn out terrible, but as long as they keep incorporating the strategy that they have been now, where they're willing to reel back things and give people things that they want or ask for, then I think we're going to be fine. And more than anything, the rank system is kind of the building block where as long as that rank system, that core rank system is good, better than what we've had, then we're going to be on the right path. And I really do like that they were willing to go back on their original ranked vision for what we demanded. I think that was a really, really great step, and it shows me a lot about how Blizzard is kind of moving now. And I hope they stay that way. I know I'm being overly optimistic, but I'm honestly a little tired of being doomer. You know, I'm a little tired of being always pessimistic. I think that on a channel like this, it's okay to be positive. It's okay to hope for things.
Nah, Overwatch is dying, dude. Give up, chat. This game's dead. Let's go play Fortnite.
And if they fumble, then we're definitely going to talk about that too. But definitely let me know how you feel about Overwatch. How do you feel about Season 9?
Let's go play Fortnite, chat.